And Jalen Reagor does not help you win games. He helps you lose games. He should never wear an Eagle jersey again. Are you with me?
Yeah, I don't think he should be back. I think the bigger question is, will he be back? Look, I don't think he wants to be back. I mean,
Welcome back, guys. Here on First 365. Our long, arduous offseason is underway.
It's a good one, though.
Beat down.
Fired up early in the day.
Yes, and we'll move on. I'm very surprised, Don, that you're clear. After the result of this weekend, the fact that you're clinging to the Bucs would have been a lesser difficult matchup than the Cowboys just boggles my mind. All right.
Eagles can't score 40 points. Simple.
I don't think the Cowboys would have scored 40 points against the Eagles had they played this weekend. That's just me. The last game they played was a complete toss against the JV team, the practice squad, and it was a very different Eagle team that played the Cowboys in the first month of the season. So I don't think that it was a foregone conclusion that if the Eagles had traveled to Dallas this week, that the Cowboys would have put 40 points up. If you believe that, yeah, we can't have a conversation. I don't believe that would have happened. But here's one I do want to check with you, because we're going to talk about Jalen Hurts today, tomorrow, next week, the next month, all the way until after the draft as to whether he should be the Eagles quarterback or not. And again, some things you feel very strongly about. For me, it was that the Bucs was a tougher matchup than the Cowboys this past week. I'm not going to take a stance on Jalen Hurts. I'm sorry. There is a percentage of Eagle fans that want the Eagles to trade Jalen Hurts today, to cut Jalen Hurts today, to get rid of Jalen Hurts and never have to look at Jalen Hurts again. And then there is a percentage of the fan base that wants to give Jalen Hurts a 10-year contract extension, because the Eagles quarterback position is one of those lightning rod spots that people feel they need to take a stand, either all in one way or all in the other way. And I'm sorry, that's just not where the Eagles are right now, or should be right now. They shouldn't be making a decision right now. So we're going to continue to give our opinion on it throughout the entire offseason. But sometimes you can make a strong stand and you can take a definitive stance. And I'm ready for that. And his name is Jalen Reagor. And in my opinion, it is he should never pull on an Eagle uniform again. It is one of my knocks on this organization. Number one, they defer every single time without putting any thought into it whatsoever. And number two, more so than maybe any other organization in the National Football League, they refuse to cut ties. They refuse to admit mistakes. That you make a draft pick and then you need to continue to honor it in the face of the results. Game after game after game after game after game, year after year, boggles my mind. Sometimes you just got to stand up and go, all right, we got that one wrong. Let's move on. And Jalen Reagor is that guy for me. They have to do it. He can't come back and play for this team again next year. They have to move on from a day 3 pick, 6th rounder. I know to get a 6th rounder for a first round draft pick just 2 years later looks really bad. But you know what looks worse, John? Jalen Hurts muffing a punt at a key aspect of the game and costing the Philadelphia Eagles in games. We're talking about off-field reputations and actual on-field results. You can't prioritize how it makes you look as an organization. You have to prioritize winning games. And Jalen Reagor does not help you win games. He helps you lose games. He should never wear an Eagle jersey again. Are you with me?
Yeah, I don't think he should be back. I think the bigger question is, will he be back? Look, I don't think he wants to be back. I mean, you know, he wanted to be traded before this, to be honest. But who's going to trade for Jalen Reagor? I mean, you talked about a 6th-round pick. The Eagles would take a 6th-round pick in a second. He doesn't.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I am at this point.
I don't trust Howie Roseman with that.
Now,
I absolutely do not trust him with that.
I mean, the more likely scenario and that's what I was getting to, is that they'll just hide him on the back end of the roster because he's still under his rookie deal, and he won't play.
Did they hide him yesterday? He got
No.
50 some odd snaps.
Yeah, and they, Greg Ward hurt his back. Nick did admit that he would have benched him essentially after the punt flub, but Greg was not available. I guess they could have thrown Boston Scott back there, but he doesn't do it much. DeVonta, you don't want to waste him on that. Although who cares in the playoffs? So I guess they could have went in a bunch of different ways. I do think they would have benched him at punt returner if Greg Ward was available, but Greg wasn't available. There's no defending Jalen Reagor at this point. It's obvious it's not going to work here. Maybe he needs to change the scenery. Maybe he can become a NFL player in another city with less, I'll call it passion, with less of a microscope. Remember, if he goes to another city, he doesn't have that expectation. He doesn't have that pedigree. Maybe that takes a little bit of pressure off him. And maybe he can turn it around, but he's not turning it around here. He's not. Will he be here or won't he be here? I think the Eagles would love to get a 6th-round pick for him at this point. I would just, if I had to, I'd eat it. I'd release him.
As would I, and I just the track record is what it is, and the Eagles cling to these first-round draft picks and continue to wait it out. And
they were right with Andre Dillard, because they're going to be able to get something for Andre Dillard. They were right to wait that out. In this instance, we'll see how the offseason shakes out. I think they have some time. I don't think they should say right now, Jalen Reagor so bad we're just going to release him right now. I mean, you just hold on, you see what happens. And it'll probably go late into the process. And who knows, maybe he gets cut before the season if they can't get a 7th-round pick for him. But sometimes it's right to wait and hide somebody on the back end of the roster. Sometimes it isn't right. This guy has played himself off this team. And remember, he's got plenty of opportunities after opportunities after opportunities. I'd love to see him go to Green Bay just to see if Aaron Rodgers can make something out of him. I would love to see it.
If you're going to get a pick for him, which is unlikely, a 6th-round pick, that's maybe a little wishful thinking on my part, but maybe there's someone out there that had him high on their draft board as well, or they're going to blame the Eagles coaches for not being able to get it out of. Maybe you can suck somebody in. Howie, that's supposedly what you do, right? Howie plays the draft trade game well.
I'm sure
selecting players.
I'm sure they would love to suck somebody. I'm sure.
Then do what you do well, Howie, and see if you can get something for him. And by the way, they're getting a day 3 pick at best for your boy Dillard too. He maybe has more value by not playing than Reagor has by playing, which is a pretty ugly testament to Jalen Reagor's play. Here's how strongly I feel about Reagor. I'd rather keep J.J. Arcega-Whiteside because at least he can block. We've established that this year, that they put him in when they want to run the football. They think he's a good blocker. He at least brings one skill set to the table, which is more than J.J. Arcega-Whiteside.
Yeah, I've said this before. I would turn over that entire room outside of DeVonta Smith, literally the entire room at this point. And by the way, it's okay if you take a couple day 3 picks and you want to try to develop somebody. I'm going free agency. The Eagles have money. I want a proven commodity, because this organization and this coaching staff, and now we're talking 2 coaching staffs. And by the way, this one where the head coach is, sort of, that's his position, right, wide receiver. they can't develop wide receivers. There's certain organizations that develop certain players, like the Eagles, offensive linemen. They're known for it. They develop offensive linemen. They can't develop wide receivers. They can't do it. And I want a guy who's already proven and is already ready to go, because too many hits at that particular position.
Is that an indictment of Sirianni? The fact that their wide receiver room was, it wasn't like they put a lot into it. That Smith is a first round pick, certainly. But other than that, they didn't sign any wide receivers.
Well, they put a ton into it when you go first round, second round in 3 consecutive years. Now, Nick's
I mean, just this offseason. I'm talking about since Sirianni came on. If you're evaluating Sirianni, then you only evaluate him from the time that he showed up.
No, but one of the reasons he was brought here, not the only reason, but I remember saying this in training camp. He spent an inordinate amount of time with these receivers for a head coach. I'd never seen anything like it. I'd mentioned that numerous times on the show, to the point where I was saying, this is weird. This guy's the head coach of the team. He's got to go do some other things than spend times. I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination am I saying he was brought in to fix the wide receiver room. That was a very small part of his job, but it was part of it. They were expecting improvement, and if anything, that group got worse as a whole. And I'm putting DeVonta Smith off to the side. If anything, the people that were here, the people that he inherited, they got worse.
Right.
They got worse.
Reagor got worse. Whiteside got worse. John Hightower couldn't make the team. I'll still tell you the reason that Greg Ward's numbers disappeared was because he was not given a chance and wasn't put on the field. But that's on Sirianni as well. Yeah, I got no problems with it. I'm a big Greg Ward fan. It's time for Greg to move on too. He needs to change the scenery. Reagor stinks. He's got to go. Whiteside stinks. He's got to go. Yeah. DeVonta, go sit in the corner. We're going to rebuild this room all the way around you. I am 100% in agreement with you on that. All right, John McMullen, Jody McDonald, your Mac and Mac, Birds 365 guys. Coming up next hour, we'll get our guy Chris Franklin to join us. He's been good about coming on after games, win or lose, and this was a bad loss against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Chris Franklin going to join us about 20 minutes from now here on Birds 365.
Go for the midnight.